Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're excited to have you here. We're going to be talking about something that is absolutely exploding called Infinity Pi. Super excited. We're talking about quantum mining. Before I get into that, of course, I want to let you guys know that today's session is a private session. The only way you got here is someone invited you. This session is not intended for financial nor any tax advice. The purpose of this private session here is just to educate our attendees, as well as those individuals that are already in the project, on the various services that we have and what's taken what is going down right now. All information shared is for educational purposes only. Should you decide to move forward, please consult your own professionals, financial professionals. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about some of the problems that we see in the crypto and blockchain space. Some of the issues that we see coming up is that there's centralized platforms and different regulations from various government entities. There are rug pulls along with different pump and dumps. People say, oh, you got to jump into this, and then whoop, they pull the rug from underneath you. There is also that most projects actually just literally run out of liquidity, right? And most prices are manipulated by this Bitcoin 4-year halving cycle, right? Everybody's like, oh, next year is the halving. They're waiting for that to pump up, right? And so it's manipulated or controlled by that. Also, some of these going along with the rug pulls are controlled and manipulated by the actual owners of that particular project. And the other thing is, let's face it, how do we get our eyes on projects, or the real projects, or the ones that have substance and sustainability and longevity? That's what we're all looking for in this. And we also wanted to have some real world revenue and liquidity out to solve real world solutions, right? So these are some of the problems that we're facing as we go out and we look at these different projects. Let's talk about the problems that we see in the network marketing space, right? Most network marketing companies require you to have some type of auto ship or monthly fees associated, right? The companies also, as you move up in those companies, they try to hold you hostage and tell you that you can only promote their product, right? And the companies are in a centralized environment, mean that they could simply go out of business, or they could change your commission structure. How many guys have been in programs like that where they change the commission structure on you? Or they just simply, no one's buying that product anymore. It faded out, right? There are also things and regulations that you're open to in the network marketing space, right? And then you also have to share and recruit to make money in most network marketing. That's the way that you make the real money in that, right? And the people at the top that get in at the beginning usually make the lion's share of the money in most network marketing spaces, right? The other thing is, you have to wait. After you make a sale, you have to wait weeks to get paid, right? It's usually 2 weeks later, or it's a 2-week behind. You're like, well, I needed to make money now. That's why I got into this, right? So sometimes that becomes a big issue when you're talking about in the network marketing space. You sell a juice or a product, or something, and then you got to wait 2 weeks for that. And then it also requires time and energy and effort for you to stay active and producing that money. You have to be actively going out recruiting and building a team to make money in that network marketing space, right? And let's be honest, a lot of times the people that you bring in, they don't have that entrepreneur stick-to-itness. They actually just quit the business. And guess what you're doing? You're starting all over again. How many of you guys understand and can relate to any of the things that I mentioned as issues that we face in either the cryptocurrency space or in the network marketing space? How many guys can relate and understand what I'm talking about? But guys, what if there was a project that had 100% of the liquidity locked in? So you wouldn't have to worry about, is it going to ever run out of liquidity? Can they pay me? How you guys want to know, can they pay me? That's what I want to know. How many guys would be okay if you could get back 360% of what you originally put into the project? How many guys are okay with that? How many guys okay if it was verified that the admin keys have been burnt, meaning there's no possibility of any type of rug pull? How many guys okay with that? How many guys are okay if you understand the tokenomics of a project and that there were only 70 million total and that token was deflationary, meaning over time, there are tokens that get burnt out of existence, meaning it will go down, less and less will be available. Similar to Bitcoin, as the halving goes, there's less and less Bitcoin being produced, right? Very, very similar. And how about this? How about if there was a fair launch with no pre-mined tokens, no developers had a bunch of tokens, the owner doesn't have a bunch of tokens, that as soon as you get in and you get going, they would dump those tokens on your head? What if it was fair that everyone started at the same time mining? Guys, that's what we're talking about. 100% liquidity. 365% back, no possibility of a rug pull, limited amount of tokens, deflationary. Guys, that I want to introduce you to Infinity Pi quantum mining. Welcome to the future. Everything that you've been looking for. The other thing about this is, what if you did not have to share it with anyone to make money? You are going to make money passively anyway. Anyway, that is Infinity Pi quantum mining. And guys, I'm going to go through some of these slides pretty fast because many of you have been with us. You already understand that we've the evolution from 1.0 to 2.0, now going into Web 3.0. Okay, we're talking about getting in a decentralized environment where you can work in autonomy, where you make your own decisions. No one is telling you what to do. No one is saying you have to cash these out right now, or you can't hold on to those, or, we're only going to pay you on this day or that day. No, a decentralized environment. So we're going to be sharing with you as this project goes on. Autonomy is going to be no one knows that you have these tokens or that you're in this project because it's in a decentralized environment. There's no KYC that you got to send it off to a company with all your personal information. And that's really great. Now, what I want to share with you, what that does, that gives you more power. Okay. And this ecosystem that we're going to be talking about with Infinity Pi is starting out, and you guys have the opportunity right now. We're just starting out with the decentralized app. They're going to be adding the NFTs, the DeFi finance, where you're going to have the MasterCards, the Visas, and all of that stuff, the gaming. Now, I want to let you know that this whole system was built by gamers, people who have set up games. So that is going to be a really central part as we move forward. And you're going to understand that this token that we're going to be mining will be the central token for that gaming experience. So a lot of these slides, you're going to see words like that came from the gaming, like once you're terminated, or players, or so words like that, because that's the mindset of who developed this. Okay, so it is a decentralized system with very much transparency, and it is a cycle that goes on and on and on. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Before I jump into that, you guys understand the difference between a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange. We've been talking about that for the last year and a half, 2 years. We're going to be talking mainly about PancakeSwap being our partner, the decentralized exchange that we're using in this particular ecosystem. And why? Because no one can control. You can go in and out of PancakeSwap. Nobody knows that it's you. It's anonymous. Right? And you can go in and know that your money is there, because we're going to share with you 100% of everything that we put in goes into the liquidity. So there's not going to ever be a day that you say, oh, I wasn't able to get paid, because you can get paid every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's what's really cool about this. Now, let's talk about, let's go move on and share with you exactly how this project works. Okay. I want you to take a screenshot of this, and I meant to ask you to really grab a pen and paper so that you can take down some notes. And if you have any questions, if you can put those to the side, we'll answer those at the end of the presentation. And see, here you go, player funds. Remember, I told you this was put together by gamers. So what it's going to do, you're going to start out with a decentralized wallet. What is a decentralized wallet? We're talking about Token Pocket, Trust Wallet, MetaMask, SafePal. Those are decentralized wallets. We want to start out with a decentralized wallet. What we do is we attach to that decentralized wallet the smart contract. That smart contract is attached to PancakeSwap, and from that, it'll take the money that you put in here to go out and buy a quantum mining machine. Okay, now this quantum mining machine is not this big thing that's going to be sent to your house and take up all your electricity. It is a virtual quantum mining machine that's going to mine this Infinity Pi token for you every single day. That those tokens you can go and take back to PancakeSwap, swap it out for USDT, but that USDT will go back into your decentralized wallet, and then you'll attach to the smart contract if you want to do it over and over and over again, and it'll mine for you every single day, 365 days out of the year. And again, this is all on the blockchain. Remember, as we've been going through this for the last year and a half, the blockchain is just a ledger that shows all transactions, meaning it's 100% transparent. Everything, when you sign up for the smart contract and attach your wallet to it, you can actually literally go and see it. When you buy your quantum mining machine, you can actually literally go to the blockchain and see that. And also in our smart contract, you'll see your purchase there as well. Now, how do we know everything that I've been sharing with you is 100% on the up and up? As you guys may or may not know, I just spent 5 days over in Dubai learning how to really analyze different smart contracts and projects. And one of the tools that they use is this Avi.ai. So put that in your notes, Avi.ai. I will put a link to this. This is a decentralized on-chain data source that really goes out and it analyzes over 25 different blockchains, and it provides like reports. It comes back and tells you, is this safe? Is it accurate? Does it go through these different checkpoints, and it gives it a score. Okay. And so I'm going to show you in a second what Infinity Pi score is. It was like 20%. It's like, it scores the risk, right? It tells you, is this program risky or not risky? And they call it an audit. They use the word audit. It's like the audit. And this one came back at 20%, which is the lowest that you can get on this thing. They're never going to say 100%, no risk at all. Never. And they're not going to give it that. The lowest that you can get on the scale is 20 all the way up to 100 if it's a very risky proposition. But here's why, some of the reasons why Infinity Pi scored so low. Low is good. 20 is good. The permissions to transfer and whitelist cannot be set, meaning you can transfer your tokens to anyone. There's no possibility of them saying, oh, no, you can't transfer to that wallet or this wallet. You know, sort of, if any of you have been to the top of network marketing companies, sometimes the people at the top will start looking at your back office and they'll start saying, well, gosh, we're paying Rosalind a whole lot. Let's cut back her group. Let's take one of her legs away. Let's do these things to make it harder for you. There's no possibility of that here. Okay. I'm going to just put a couple of these. You guys can go on and see this all yourself. The contract is open source, meaning it can be built upon. This is the big one that everybody's super excited about. The owner of this who created this cannot manipulate the balance. Now, some of us have been in projects where we're like, how is the price of this token going up and up and up? And it's not out on the market. It's nowhere. They're not showing us the liquidity of how is this it was manipulated by the owner. Here in this particular project, you're going to see that there's no way the owner can manipulate that. And I'm going to show you how it is tied together with USDT and the Pi. And as we buy miners or as we sell miners, or more people come into the community, you'll see that whole amount of USDT goes in. And what does it do? It helps raise the price of the Pi. So that is not manipulated by the owner at all. It does not have a proxy. Here's another thing: the slippage rate cannot be modified. They can't come back and say, oh, we see that this is really taking off. It's way above what we, our projections. So let's go in there and put a little bit more extra fee. So we want to take more money off the table. Cannot be modified. There is not a blacklist. I already shared with you that why that's important. They cannot say, oh, that address there is making, $50,000 a day. We want to take that back. They cannot, there's no blacklist. Because drum roll, number 9, the administrative privileges have been abandoned. They have been abandoned, and they cannot retrieve the administrative privileges. You're going to also see when I go to this Avi.ai is that the liquidity has been locked for 10 years. Meaning they cannot come back and, in some of these things, the liquidity is not locked. The owner or the creator of the smart contract can come in and just rug pull and take the liquidity. Here it is absolutely locked for 10 years. And that is already on the blockchain. You can see it. And there's no additional issuance of any type of pre-tokens. And that was really, really phenomenal. So that's why it's a 20% risk. And that's why we're super fired up about this project. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me go ahead and go live so you guys can see that. Just point it out and I'll put the link. And I want to share a couple of things as we bring this up. You guys should be seeing my screen. You can see right now, currently the price is $1.20. We just started mining tokens just 3 days ago. When I was in Dubai, they had a 1.0, meaning you could come in as part of the DAO, and that DAO was here at 22. It was about 22 cents back then. Almost a week ago. It is now risen from 22 cents to $1.20. When we started mining tokens just 3 days ago, it was at $1.11. Has already increased by almost 10 cents in 3 days. Now, you might be saying, well, that sounds great. That's great for the company. What does that mean for me? What that means for you is that you have an opportunity, if you see something for you, to purchase a miner, because you cannot buy these tokens. It'd be great if you could just say, oh, yeah, I want to go ahead and buy them, but you cannot. And that's another thing I need to put on that slide of why we're excited about this is no big whale can come in here and say, oh, I want to dump $1 million in here and buy up all the tokens, as we see that this is raising and raising and raising. So just understand that, and it just went to 0% because that is, well, I think we're almost to their day, this is in Singapore time. So it's gonna start, and you'll see, I think yesterday we did probably about 8% or so for the day. And so this is it's really awesome. You can come in here and see every package, but I'll go and show you some of these things that I was telling you about so that you don't have to take my word for it. Is here. We can get some more details on it. And how to find it on the phone. It says info. So you can go here and see the Infinity Pi. There's 70 million only in circulation ever. You can go here and see the liquidity pool, 100% locked. And you can also see the date that it's locked. It'll tell you it was locked on 8/18 of 2023, and it's locked until 8/17 of 2033. 10 years. How many guys have been looking for a project that you knew was going to be around for 10 years? Many of us. I'll raise my hand and say, I have been looking for a project that would be around for 10 years. Many of us have been praying, hey, let this be around for the next 2 to 3 years, right? But 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's super exciting about that, that it is absolutely locked. You can see there all of the information about it being, everything that you need to know. All the checks are here. Everything that goes into here, you can see all the addresses. You can see when people are buying, people are swapping out. And that's great because when they swap out and they sell some of their tokens, and you can see that they're not selling much. These are probably people just testing. You know how we get into something that we want to test and see that it's good, see that it's there. But you can see the $500 miners coming in. Every single transaction is listed. That's what's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put this link in the chat for you. Please feel free to go and do some due diligence, your own research on that, and we'll jump right back into the presentation here. So you might say, well, gosh, that sounds great. That sounds good for the company. Sounds like they're doing great. The price went from, it started at 0.001 back on September 9th, 0.001. And at that time, they started doing what was called a sale of the minor packages to something called the DAO. And at that time, they would put 44% of the money into the liquidity pool to start building it up, right? They didn't give them any tokens. None of the tokens were mined until 3 days ago when we all started at the same time. So it was just people believing in the vision and saying, hey, I want to get one of those miners. So when they're ready to start mining, I want one of those packages. I'm ready to go. And at that time, they only put 44%. Now that we're mining, they're putting the entire 100% of every package into the liquidity. So now can you guys understand why I'm saying your liquidity is going to be there anytime you want to cash out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you might say, okay, great. I want to know, how can I do it? How can I do this? It's sounding great. You would come in and you would purchase one of these 4 mining packages. The first one is 500 USDT, and it will mine for you 0.7% a day, and it will continue to go until you've earned 3.6 times or 360%, meaning until it goes to 1,800. So 500 is going to turn into 1,800. Okay, it's actually going to probably turn into more. I'm going to talk about why in a second, but it goes until you have 1,800, okay? 1,000 package gives you 0.8% a day. 2,000 USDT will give you 0.9, and 5,000 will give you 1% a day. So a $5,000 package goes until you have 18,000. Now, let me ask you a question. Without even, let's say the price stayed exactly static. It never went anywhere else. It stayed exactly at $1, never went higher. And you guys will see in a minute that it absolutely is tied to the amount of USDT coming in. But how many of you would trade $5,000 for 18,000? I give you 18,000, you give me 5. How many guys would do that trade every day of the week? You do 5,000, you get back 18. You do 5,000, you get back 18. And knowing the things that I just shared with you, just a little glimpse, knowing that it was going to be there. And here's the great, beautiful thing of it. It's static and dynamic in your rewards. Meaning, if you are a user, invest 5,000 USDT in a quantum miner, your daily static income would be worth 50 U, right? Because 1% of 5,000 is 50 units worth of Pi tokens. But if the Pi token is going up at a rate, let's even say it's going up at a rate of 1% or 2% or 3% a day. Let's just even go little small. You guys saw that it, from 22 cents to $1.20 is a lot more than 1% a day. But even if it only went up 1% a day over 30 months, that's 30% in addition to your 1% that you're getting here. Are you guys following me? That's why this is so phenomenal. Getting in early when you can mine tokens at $1, when maybe, let's say 90 days from now, 60 days from now, 30 days from now, it's at $3, $10. If you got something at $1 and it's now worth $10, how awesome would you feel? That's what we're talking about. Timing is everything, my friends. Timing is everything. You can decide to get started with as little as 500. And for those of you who say, well, man, I right now don't have 500. How about you get with 2 or 3 other people and you put it together? Because at this point, ladies and gentlemen, your $500 miner that's mining those tokens every day, you and your 2 or 3 other people are going to be able to benefit from that. Because remember, again, it's a decentralized. All you guys need to do is dump it into one wallet and work that wallet. Okay, so that's an idea. Now, here's the other part that I'm super excited about. Now, remember, this is totally passive. You buy your mining machine and it mines for you every day. You decide when you want to take the, cash or your Pi tokens back to USDT. That's your thing. You can just leave it and say, oh, I'll wait till it gets to 18,000. I put 5,000 in, I'm going to wait till it gets to 18,000. I put 500 in, I'm going to wait till it gets to 1,800. And as you just heard me, it's probably going to be a lot more because the price of the Pi is going up. So that's totally passive. You don't have to talk to a single soul, but just go get the link of the person that invited you, get started. Every day you wait, you're losing out on not just the 1% here, but also on the rising of this Pi token. Now, here's the part that I'm super excited. If you're like me, you like to share good news with others. You love the idea of the people around you also benefiting, also having a good time, also getting wealthy. And why not get paid for that? They have what is called a direct referral and indirect referral rewards. It is absolutely phenomenal. If you refer one person, that will be your level 1 or generation 1. You get paid 10% of every time they get paid. So if you refer somebody and they purchase a $5,000 USDT miner, they're going to receive 50 tokens a day. You're going to receive 5 tokens just because you told them, which is 50 times 10%. So you get 10%. There's no limit to the amount of people you can share this with. Many people, ladies and gentlemen, we've been in projects where people say, oh, I just want to put 50,000 in. Just imagine that. That would be 5,000 miners for you. Just imagine that. And every day, this is not one time. This is every day that their mining machine is mining, you're getting paid those rewards. Absolutely phenomenal. And what's going to happen when a person starts seeing that they're, oh, wow, this is great. They're going to share it with someone. That would be considered your second generation. In order for you to get paid on that, you have to have already referred 2 people. They call them packs. See, again, this is all gaming talk, right? Yeah, 2 packs, right? Packs. So and you'll get paid on your second generation. So if your cousin Tom is here and Tom told Sally, if you referred 2 people yourself, you're going to get paid 4%. You don't even know Sally. And let's say Sally refers somebody named John. Well, you didn't know Sally, so you certainly don't know John, but you're still going to get 2% every day off of what John does. And John tells Marcus, now listen, if you didn't know Sally, you don't know John, you definitely are not going to know Marcus, but it's okay because you started it. It's only fair that you're going to get 2% every day of everything that Marcus does, his mining does. And the same thing with the 5th generation, as long as you have personally shared it with 5 people. So that's great. That's fantastic. Guys, we're super excited. And 5 could be one person, because if you have a person that says, hey, I want to do 25,000, they have to put it in 5 separate wallets. Well, those 5 separate wallets, I really probably wouldn't let them put their wallets direct to me, right? Or direct to you. You would want them to put one direct to you and be generous and let them put the others under themselves. But you're understanding what I'm saying. 5 is not a big number if you want to get paid through generations. Now, I'm super excited about this because remember, you're getting this paid in Pi tokens. So yeah, you might think, well, today it's $1.20. Well, those 5 tokens tomorrow might be worth $2. So that's $10 a day every single day that your cousin is mining, and so on and so forth. Really, really super exciting. Now, let me talk to you about something called team rewards. So if you're like me, you like helping a whole community of people, not just yourself. So you probably have told a few people who told a few people, and you have a community of people that you'd like to share this with. If you do, you can become what is called ranked here. Very, very simple. You can become ranked. You can get ranked as a V1 all the way up to V6. When you get these rankings and how you get these rankings, just V1, you need to have 20,000 in volume. And I want to share this with you. And you can't include your power leg. You cannot. That's excluded. So I just want you to know that. But let's just say, for instance, you have some people that you think, oh, okay, this is great. One leg is taken care of. That's gone. But I want to build this 20,000. And you were looking at like 20,000. It might sound like a lot to some of you, but I want you to think we have a $2,000 miner. I want you to take out your calculator and I want you to take 20,000 divided by 2,000. How many people is that really? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's 10 people. Do you think that you and your entire community can bless 10 people? I think so, right? 10 people. And you might say, well, gosh, maybe my community can't do the 2,000, but maybe 1,000 is doable. Well, can you and your entire community bless 20 people? 20 people. Bless them to see, wow, we actually have something that's going to be around for 10 years. We have something that cannot be rug pulled. We have something that's going to pay us every single day with an appreciating asset. Can you find 20 people? Your entire community that would like to be blessed. If you say yes, then you can get 5% additional override on that entire team. And when you help 2 people do what you did, go out and get it to 20,000, you're now going to become a V2 and you're going to start getting 10% of the entire organization. And so on and so forth, all the way up to V6. Now, I want to share this with you. I'm going to share some numbers with you. I'm going to give you a hypothetical example that's really, really doable. Okay? When we talk about these team rewards. And here we go. Going to go to the first tab here. I was trying to do something else there. Make sure you guys are seeing I'm going to break this down because I think this is the one thing that helped my light bulb go on. Many of you took advantage of the 1.0 and you might already have a rank. But those that are coming in new, that are seeing this for the very first time, it's okay because we're just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the beginning. For those that are here in the US, Canada, there's nobody that really knows anything about what we're doing. Very few people. We're at the very beginning. So let's say, is it reasonable to believe that if you're a person that really wants to go out and help people, that over time, you and your team are going to grow to where you're going to be at this 50,000? Now, again, let's go back to the calculator. Let's say 50,000 divided by 2,000. That's 25 total people, ladies and gentlemen, in all the world that you can bless. Is it reasonable to believe that over time you can bless 25 people? And if you do, that would mean that your team grew to 50,000 in our example. 50,000, now I need you to stay with me. Stay with me, guys. That means that they're mining, and we use 2,000. That would actually be 0.9%, but I'm going to stick with even 500. Let's say everybody came in at 500. Let's go back. Let's say 50,000 divided by 500. That's 100 people in all the world. 100 people came in on your team after you, and you blessed them. They all came in at 500. They're all mining at 0.7%. That means that it's $350 coming a day. You get at V1 a 5% override. And I'm going to go back here 1 second. I'm going to show you something. I forgot to say one thing on the slide. And it's important because there's going to be peaks and valleys, right? So if you end up having someone under you get a rank below you, you're going to minus it. So when we get to like the V3, even though it says you get 20%, we're going to take maybe 10% out of that, or maybe 5%, because we're going to account that someone reached the V1 rank or the V2 rank. So that, just want you to understand that. Why? Because you might say, well, gosh, when we get to these higher ranks, why is it not 20%, 50%? We want to be ultra conservative in these examples. Again, This is no guarantee of any type of income. This is just sharing with you what could happen. What's the possibilities? Okay. So let's go back to that. So is it reasonable to think that, hey, over time, you're going to get to 50,000? You get to 50,000, that's 350 a day. You get 5% of that. That's $18 a day. If there was absolutely no appreciation at all, the coin stayed absolutely flat, that means you make $18 a day. 18 times 30, $540 extra a month. Now, let's say that there was some appreciation, that it did grow. What if you doubled this to about $30 a day? $30 a day times 30 is $900. That's absolutely very, very doable. We already talked about how it is appreciating well over, 3, 4, 5, 8% a day. But let's move on. If you can get to 50, do you think over time you're going to eventually get to 100,000? If you can get to 100,000, and let's say you're at V2, that's 100,000 times 0.7, $700 a day mining. You get 10% of that. That's $70 a day. $70 a day, ladies and gentlemen. In addition, this has nothing to do with your own mining. If you have a 5,000 mining, you're still getting your $50 on top of that. But $70 a day times 30, that's $2,110 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, if it was a little bit of appreciation to 25%, that's $88 a day times 30 days. That's $2,600 a month extra. Just every day coming in, $88 extra. Just because you opened up and helped some other people. Is it reasonable to believe if you can get to 100 that you're eventually going to get to 150? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about over $100 a day. It's $3,000 extra just because you shared it with people. Now, I'm going to take a leap and I'm going to tell you, eventually you're going to get to, over time, you're going to get to 500,000, 500,000 in your entire organization group. I was looking at this the other day. I was like, well, really 500,000. Think about 500,000. And if you divide it by 5,000, that's really only 100 people getting a $5,000 pack. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are at the V4 level, you're talking about $525 a day, every single day. Now I want you to multiply that. How much is that, ladies and gentlemen? 525 times 30. Are you guys dreaming with me here? Are you here with me? That's over $15,000 a month. That's if the coin stayed exactly flat. What if it increased, had a little bit of appreciation? You guys are seeing that number? $900 a day. $900 a day times 30 days. That's $27,000. Now, I know what you're probably saying. Well, gosh, Marshonda, that, $500,000 sounds like a lot. But when I just broke it down to you and said that's just 100 people with $5,000 packs in your entire community, is very, very doable, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share with you that if you look at the V5 and you're looking in there, and I have 5 million in there, that's actually very, very doable. We've done that in other programs that are passive programs, and I'm sure you all can do that again here because we're the beginning. Now, what I will say about this, if you don't go out and tell anybody, somebody else will. You'll be coming to a presentation just like this, and you're going to see someone that was on your list, and you were afraid to talk to them about it. You're afraid to tell them about it. But I'm going to share with you when you can get your organization to 5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about over $5,000 a day. If it appreciates a little bit, $10,000 a day. I'm not going to even do the math and tell you what that is a month. We're talking about in the 6 figures a month. But again, it starts with you, number one, getting your mining package going. Number two, watching this thing go and sharing it with other people that you know can benefit from this. Now, again, remember, there's absolutely you do not have to share it with a single soul. But if you see how well you can get paid and compensated for sharing it, for being a blessing. Many of us know people who have been in these type of rug pull situations. Well, if you had something that you know that a person has been looking for, why wouldn't you share it? And you get paid handsomely for doing it. Every single day that they make money, you make money. Every day they make money, you make money. Isn't that awesome? Say win, win, win situation. Guys, we're going to get out of here in the next couple of minutes here. Again, getting to these rankings are really important. If you get to V5 or V6, as your organization grows, you can still get some bonus from some people getting to the same rank as you. So do want to let you know, again, this is how this whole thing starts. Again, you want to start with a decentralized wallet. You can get you're going to mine the token every day. I do want to share with you how the fees work. There is if you transfer the token in between to someone else's wallet, there's a 3% token transfer fee. Once you claim your tokens, let's say you claim your tokens, is mining for you every day, you claim your tokens, there is a 5% claim fee. 2.5% goes to the DAO partners who are in part one. The other 2.5% goes to it goes out to the founding company that's doing all the technical operations is the word I was looking for. I just couldn't think about it. Technical operations. And then once you claim your tokens, if you want to go ahead and swap them in Pancake Swap, because remember, all the liquidity sits in Pancake Swap, there's a 10% Pancake Swap slippage. And at that time, out of the 10%, 5% of that gets destroyed. 5% of those tokens are destroyed. The other 5% goes to technical operations to get all the other things that we talked about going. So that's how this cycle works. Everything, again, is 100% transparent. That's what we love about it. People always want to know about the tokenomics and the burning mechanism. Every time, like I said, 5% of the tokens are burned. Again, when a player sells 1,000 tokens, 50 tokens are burned. So that every single time it makes it go less and less and less. Again, think about Bitcoin. That's exactly what we're talking about. There'll only always ever be 70 million minted. Again, started at 0.001. And right now we are at $1.20. Okay. Want to let you know, no one has any tokens. Again, just 3 days ago was the first time there was no set aside. And all of these ones that you see here, the DAO partners, those of us that got in at 1.0, we get a piece of that. Again, it's not like dumped into our lap. We get it little by little by little from that 2.5% every day. And then the technical team, the governing team, all of these, they have these millions. They only get 2.5% a month for 40 months. They cannot, no one has all these tokens. So that's, again, I'm sharing with you that because when you look at other projects, you want to make sure how many tokens are already out there in people's wallets that they can just dump on my head. This is not that. Guys, this is laughable at this point. They thought that they would only be at 10 cents by the end of the year. We're already at $1.20. They thought that they would be at $1 just the second quarter of next year. We already surpassed that. So I just want you to understand, they thought it would take them all the way to the fourth quarter to get to $10. You guys could just do the math and figure it out yourself. We're going to get that $10 a lot sooner than the fourth quarter of next year. So really, really exciting. Again, I already shared some of this information with you. What you have to do right now is get back to the individual that invited you, decide which miner do you want, 500, 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000. So 500, 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000, and just get it on, get it started. It literally takes just a couple of minutes, attach it to your wallet, and it'll go, and you'll see it on the blockchain yourself. And then you'll start earning again every single day until it gets 360%. That's how sweet it is. And simply get back to the person that invited you. We're excited to have you here. You definitely want to get in now while the token is down at $1.20, because every day that it appreciates, your asset can appreciate. What you're earning, you earn actually more by getting in now. So I want to thank you guys for jumping in tonight. What I'm going to do, I always say this, and I really want you to understand it is so true in this. 5 months is going to come, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. It was just the beginning of the year. You probably thought, oh, well, gosh, it was just the 4th of July, right? It was just Memorial Day. And here it is, already almost Halloween. It's almost the end of the year. So in 5 months from now, I guarantee you this, you're going to say one of two things. I'm so glad I did, or I wish I hadda. I'm so glad I got started and I'm mining these Pi tokens every single day. Or darn it, I wish I hadda. I wish I hadda started back 5 months ago when it was $1.20. I wish I had to listen to Roslyn or Rose or Tio or Keith. I wish I had to. We certainly hope you do not say, I wish I had to. We want you to be saying, I'm so glad I did. Get back to the person that invited you. Get started today, and we'll see you. I'm going to do these presentations every single day for you. Every day. All you have to do is invite. All right. I'll stop the recording and take a couple questions.